Yesterday, we acknowledged the fact that discipline is necessary in order for one to learn, but many do not see the point of trying to learn. The book of Proverbs contains a few passages that deal with the benefit of discipline and ultimately the end result of discipline. In Proverbs 19 and verse 20, Solomon says, "Listen to counsel and accept discipline, that you may be wise the rest of your days." The New American Standard Version translates the second part of this verse, that you may be wise the rest of your days. The King James Version is slightly different, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. The former emphasizes a progression of gaining wisdom, while the latter emphasizes the goal of possessing wisdom in the end. Well, in either case, discipline is about our future rather than about our present. In the future, the discipline that leads us to grow in knowledge from God will result in wisdom, in understanding, and in honor. Solomon says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is a light, and reproofs for discipline are the way of life." Proverbs 6 and verse 23. Now, in this verse, we see that discipline leads to wisdom. It leads to understanding, it leads to honor. And if these were not enough to convince us of the benefits of discipline, Solomon adds here that the path of discipline is the very way of life. It will help us avoid trouble in this life, Proverbs 6 verses 24 through 35, but also it will help us as we go into the life that is to come, Proverbs 7 verses 22 through 27. Solomon says that it is a fool who rejects his father's discipline, but he who regards reproof is sensible, Proverbs 15 and verse 5. Friends, knowing the benefits of discipline, it is only a fool who rejects it. One who is sensible will accept discipline because he knows that it is ultimately for his own good. Solomon says that stripes that wound scour away evil, and strokes reach the innermost parts, Proverbs 20 and verse 30. This verse mentions the unpleasant nature of discipline. We've already acknowledged the fact that no one really likes discipline. We don't like being told that we're wrong. When we're children, we don't like having to answer to our parents when we've made a mistake, when we've done something wrong. But we understand that that punishment is there for a reason. That punishment is there to teach us, to train us up in the way that we should go. This is why Solomon makes the statement that he that spares the rod. Now, this is not talking about beating your children. It's talking about the rod of correction, the discipline of your children. He that spares the rod hates his child. What this is indicating is that every parent who truly loves their child and wants to bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord, who wants them to grow up into well-rounded, moral, honest people, they're going to discipline their children when it is necessary. When those children do things that are contrary to their parents' guidance, and especially when they do things that's contrary to the will of God, then the parents must step in, must discipline those children to train them up in the ways of the Lord. But discipline is not just about punishing wrongdoing. It's also not just about suffering consequences as a fact of life. But there is another purpose to discipline. And I love the way that Solomon puts this. It is the scouring away of evil. Discipline that is properly administered and is also properly regarded by the one being disciplined will help him to remove sin from his life, not just outwardly, but from his heart as well. This concept of scouring means that it is deep reaching, taking that evil out of our life, purging it from us, and replacing it with those things that are good. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today. Please consider these things that we have discussed. Have a blessed day and a wonderful weekend ahead.